Welcome brothers, I'm the Hermit and I hope you're ready for some budget action, because our deck today is all about Hare Apparent. For 1 generic and a white, we get a creature, Rabbit Noble, 2/2, and when this creature enters, create a number of 1/1 rabbit creature tokens equal to the number of other creatures you control, named Hare Apparent. And a deck can have any number of cards named Hare Apparent. So we are running 53 of them, and our commander is gonna make it so that our creatures with power 2 or less can be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater, and if an ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. So if we have Delney out, every Hare Apparent is gonna be making the tokens twice. So if we have one on board and we play another, we would get 2 tokens with Delney. Then if we had 2 on play and we play another, we get 4 tokens with Delney, and so on. After that, we're gonna be trying to, once we go wide enough, all we need is a little bit of extra oomph so that our creatures become a little bit bigger and they can deal lethal to our opponent. So we're gonna be playing cards like Mecha Stand, Rallying Roar, and Rosy Cotton. Whenever a token you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control other than Rosy Cotton. So she's gonna be great at making +1 counters for every rabbit token we control, and we usually put them on the Hare Apparents that already are on play so that they get the buff and we can keep triggering. We also have Trial of Solidarity. When this enchantment enters, creature you control gets +2/+1. Making the Stampede is a MDFC, and creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Supply Runners, when this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. And Heraldic Banner, Patchwork Banner, when these artifacts enter, we either name a color or a creature type, so white or rabbit, and then creatures of the chosen type or color get +1/+0 or +1/+1. And our final only rare in the deck is Banner of Kinship. As this artifact enters, choose a creature type. This artifact enters with a fellowship counter for each creature you control of the chosen type. And creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1 for each fellowship counter on this artifact. So the plan is simple, we just go wide and then we play one of our finishers so that our 1/1s become either 2/2s, which still can be blocked, or they become really huge with Banner of Kinship so that it doesn't matter that our opponent can block them because anyone or maybe just a couple of them can be lethal. So that's the plan. Let's get into the queue and show our opponents what the rabbits do. So before we get into the games, I'm recording this after, and I gotta say, the matchmaker is really not kind to budget, so it doesn't take into account the budget, but rather it takes into account the seeming power of the deck. So even though we only have one mythic and one rare, all of the rest are commons and uncommons, we're still gonna be paired against really tough matchups, decks that are, well, more or less more synergistic, more well-rounded, more powerful, should I say. And yeah, I mean, I stuck through most of the games, but we also got unlucky because we got on the draw a bunch of times, and I even delayed some 5 to 8 games where I was on the draw, and some of which I insta-conceded because I was already a little bit salty about the losses. So yeah, take that into account when you see the games, but I hope you enjoy, and if you do, maybe I will try to make a better deck. I also have a Hare Apparent deck with Phineas as a commander, so maybe I could try that one. It's not as budget friendly, but it definitely is a much better deck, and I enjoy that. I enjoy playing that, whereas this was really, it took a lot of patience on my part. Anyway, I'm going out and hope you enjoy. Looking Eye of the Storms. And we're on the draw, which means we're gonna need to be even faster. So we kinda needed one of our stuff. It doesn't matter if we play Delney, because we need to be fast. Okay, opponent has Sources Incubator. Oh, not Tracy, so maybe we have time. I was thinking if they had Ugin Mana next turn, but it seems like that's not the case. Forsaken Monument. Okay, so now it's when they have it. And because they're gonna be playing colorless spells, that means they're gonna get some life back. We need one of our finishers. If we don't get one, we are gonna lose.
Power belongs to the patient. I will not allow my
In the ineffable.
courses through all the preparation. You, when you understand reality, truth lies beyond vision.
And we didn't get it, so it's GG's. Ignis Scientia. So when it enters, you get a land from the top 6, and then you can exile a creature from the yard to make a food. So Simic Ramp, maybe some form of Simic food, if that's a thing. Delighted Halfling, because of course. And Ignis. There's 3 steps ahead. Okay. So let's see what else they have. Maybe they are all counter spells, which... Okay, it seems like that's the case. And we're stuck at 3 lands. Usually the 4th is the best one for us, because then we get to play 2 Hares a turn. The opponent steals our commander. And they have more counter spells. Rufus Sproutsire. Whenever you... Okay. So they're gonna be Sapling Tribal, maybe? And whenever one of them hit us, they get another one. Or, well, that many. So they're gonna curve Sapling into Sapling. Okay, they start with Llanowar Elves. And now they get Rufus here. Call of Oracles, that allows it to put counters on their Sapling. Tap to add mana of any color. And they can attack with both if they want to make another sapling. But if it's just the one, we maybe just block. Okay, they have a combat trick. It becomes bigger, but no trample, so... Ooh, that's a good one. I think we lose this one. So yeah, let's concede and go to the next one. Match of the Warlords. Creatures have base power and toughness 6/6. So yeah, good games. Calafi, Beloved of the Sea. And we have everything we need here. We just need to be careful when we play our banner, that way we don't miss out on her apparent triggers. Other insignificance, notably, while that does change the power and toughness, it doesn't change the name of her apparent, so it still counts for any future iterations. Opponent plays their commander and they're playing sorcery speed, even though they have Leyline of Anticipation, but maybe they just play it for the devotion. Of 8 Derek's memory. And spreading seas on our planes, we don't mind. And because they are in blue, they probably don't have any way to keep trample. Maybe flying they can. Okay, this is rather unfortunate, but it comes down to pretty much the same. Even if we play Patchwork Banner, then we still get the same amount of triggers, because the Hare appearance will become 3/3. Okay, they get Delney now, but depending on what they play here, we might be able to win with our banner. Okay, opponent gives +1/+1, but with I was gonna say with devotion, that's +2/+2, +2/+1, but it didn't matter. They didn't have any way to stop us. GG's. Jackson's avatar. So they're gonna ramp into big dragons, big dinosaurs rather. Yeah, we just need to make a full board before they play Gishath, because when he comes down, he's gonna hit us and then we're gonna cheat as many dinosaurs as they have on top. The lucky part for us is Gishath costs 8 mana, so we may survive yet. Okay, it seems like he's coming down next turn, so... Unlucky for us. And that's an animation from when they still made mythics with animations. Oh, that's a good one. Quartzwood Crasher and Topiary Stomper. So, yeah, I'm afraid the rabbits are dinosaur food. And because of vigilance, we're not even gonna be able to deal that much damage. Oof. Okay. Let's not block. Oh, needed to block one. I was thinking if we did the match, if we had an attack, then this would be 18. No, they still would have won. So yeah, good games. Common World Eater. All we need is another land and more hares. And they are gonna be trying to deal damage to us, so hopefully they don't get to ramp into their commander before we get a board full of rabbits. Let's not attack. I thought they might have a flying blocker with flash or something, so. But now the cost is clear. And it seems like they have a counter spell, maybe. Mastborn Hydra. Becomes a 4/4. But I think we have it. Just notice our opponent's name, Malik the Gathering. So, with make a stand, you attack first. Blockers, and before moving to damage, you play make a stand. And the GG's. Ishtolam. So we don't have a finisher, but I think we might be losing this one because Ishtola can actually block all of our creatures, and if they have removal, then. But I guess removal tends to put you higher on the commander tier list. Or rather, the broke queue. Let's get to some rabbiting. from none to 6. And we pass. Shoulder the Apocalypse. And Roaming Throne on Warlock. Okay. And maybe we sacrifice a Hare Apparent since they can only block and kill one, dealing the rest damage. Ooh. My bad. Yep. Forget they get to draw cards, even if they are the one losing life. Okay, opponent has their own Delney. And they make a clone of their commander. So I think we need a finisher, otherwise we just lose here. Very much. Ooh. Actually, we just lose right away. No, they only gain life. We don't lose life yet. But that's a sweet deck, opponent. Gotta hand it to you. Yeah, I guess they don't have interaction and that's why they are playing against us. Okay. That's just a regular land, so let's concede. Good games. Opponent had a really fun deck. Karikar wins Fury. So if they are heavy on removal, that's gonna be bad for us. Seems like this is okay. They could draw 3 cards. Well, they get 3 on exile and they can play one of them. We don't know what either of them are. Ristic Study. Okay. So opponent is gonna get all the cards in the world. And yeah, you see here why maybe budget is not that viable on Brawl. Because even though we are playing all her opponents, our opponents are getting, we are matching against opponents who play the best cards in the format, or at least really powerful cards. Not that the Hare is not powerful, but okay, Tail's End on a trigger. And if this is a removal, okay, if that was a lightning bolt, then opponent would have essentially destroyed 2 of our creatures. Confiscation coup. And they take our commander. But we have a big enough board, so we can actually just have lethal. Yeah. All the way to -2. So, good games. Good games, Kiker. I was more afraid of you than maybe I needed to be. Clear calamities occur. I mean, at least it's not the halfling, the lighting halfling, which it seems like our opponents are getting turn 1, but they had a fetch land, so same difference. The opponent has considered, and let's see what else are they playing. Oh, they keep both, apparently. And Delney becomes unable to scream. That's it. I guess they're gonna take the banner. So we just need another finisher. And I think we're okay, because, I mean, either way they could block with Glarbar. Because he's at 2 power, and the Shaman is also 1 power. They reanimate a Baleful Streak, which they milled with Clarb, and let's see what else can they do. Yeah, it's the Mind Sculptor. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, this game is a good way to balance her apparent. You put them against the Mind Sculptor. Now, I might sound a little bit salty, but actually we might still win this if we draw the right card. But maybe with their yes, they're making sure we don't get it, so let's give it another turn. Mana drain. Okay. And if they didn't have Unable to Scream, we would have 20 rabbits. So yeah, I guess despite my saltiness, this is actually balanced. There's not much else we can do, but had they not stopped us, we would be steamrolling them, so. And that's the damnation. Okay. BB or Nitier. So if they don't ramp to get BB out earlier, then just a race against time. Also, if they don't have interaction, that's our Achilles heel. Well, that and rats. Rats straight out kill us, and interaction hampers us a little bit. And depending on multiple interactions, hamper us a lot. Great deal. Okay, seems like they only have draw spells and spells that keep their wells turning so that BB can grow big until they get something splashy. BB. Should we try to be cute? Okay, opponent didn't take the bait. So let's get more hares. And let's see if opponent can kill us here. Or maybe they get a bunch of turns. Oh, fire magic. That is a wrath. And I guess it's fair to concede here. Good games. Serapharon. So let's see if they have a turn 1 legendary. They don't. So they will just have a turn 3 legendary, turn 2, and turn 4. Captain Neverheart. Just get some hairs. Surrakan Gorklo. Oof, that is a big one. Green Hinge. Captain CC. Okay, yeah, they're gonna kill us soon. And that's an Elish Norn, so that's gonna be our demise. Yeah, let's concede here. Or let's let them play it. Yeah, it's just one turn. There's no harm in it. And of course we don't draw our fourth land, because we never do. Okay, that's a Rinoa, but unnecessary. They just needed to play their Elish Norn and attack for the win. Good games, Sarah. Good games. And would you look at that on the draw? I mean, at least we're against birds with Choco, Seeker of Paradise. Okay, let's pray for another land, and let's see if we can do our thing. Value quest color from opponent. That's not a land. I guess realistically we have more of a chance to draw another Hare than to draw another land. Rather this 40. Yeah, there are 40 or plus Hares in our deck and 34 planes, so 1.5 times more likely. An opponent has the Revi, they're gonna untap all their lands. And if we don't draw our lands, then I think we're gonna lose this one. Get lost? Okay. Yep. That's a good enough moment. Pantlasam again. Oops. I needed to play Delney there. But it's okay, we never get that to 4 lands. Okay, that is bad. They're gonna have haste. And their dinosaurs cost 1 less to cast. Okay, now I know you're mocking me, Shuffler. Okay, Pantlas into Roaming Throne. So our opponent is gonna get one more turn, which they can really do something great with, and after that we're gonna win. So let's see their worst. And we'll free back, so that's only 3. And they're gonna get 4 life. They get Path to Exile. They're gonna pass Delney. Back to the command zone. Okay, so opponent can block 4 of our creatures. No, 5. But we have 15, so we would deal around 20. They would still be at 3. Oop, they missed one blocker, so we win. Okay. Good games, Pantlasa, good games. Cloud Midgar Mercenary. And only 2 lands. Nope, there's land number 3. Spirited Companion from opponent, not Cloud. So we started train going. Okay, most families have trees, his has an entire forest. An opponent decides to path to exile on our Hares. And I hate to tell you this, opponent, but that means we're probably gonna win. At least that was my opinion until you got that Chrome Ox. And it's only Run of Sustenance. I am a really big fan of the runs, of the runes. Because, especially in, well, they are the best at equipment decks, but I also like them in vehicle decks, at least in Brawl. In Commander their value is significantly lower, but Rune of Sustenance gives lifelink, the red rune gives haste, the green one gives trample, and yeah, I really like that about them. And look at that, because of Delney, Rosy Cotton triggers an additional, gives us another food, and she triggers twice for each token. And let's see if this is the Cloud turn. Opponent is gonna reanimate something with Restoration. maybe one of their 2-mana equipment, or fabrication foundries, so artifact ramp, lay down arms from opponent, and if we get to draw another land, chance of custody, exiles our commander. Should we send it to the command zone? Yes, I think. That was poor boots. Okay, sheltered by ghosts on Delney. Some of the hosts. We're gonna get how many tokens? 3, just 3. Okay. So let's make one Hare apparent big. And I think this might be the closest game so far. Like, I'm not still sure if we're gonna win or if our opponent is gonna win. Could go either way. Architect of Restoration, we're gonna block it. Or are we? Yeah, let's not. Well, let's attack with one Hare. Opponent jumps. And yeah, one of the finishers I decided not to include was Elspeth Stormslayer. She can give up your whole team +1, a +1/+1 counter and flying. Okay, Helm of the Host. And they get 2 clouds. Anduril and Shadow Spear. Okay, they attack with Architect of Restoration. We're gonna block it. Okay, they don't attack. So, let's see if we get the win. Opponent needs to block everyone, I think. Or at least block with their clouds. Okay, is this lethal? They are at 36. Yeah, I think it's not lethal. They are at 12, and they're gonna get some Android tokens and Cloud tokens from Helm of the Host. So, yeah, I think they might have this. Let's find out. They needed an extra mana for lifelink. Their annual tokens enter tap, so they have even less blockers. Okay, yeah, we got this. I think this was probably the best match we've had so far. And yeah, good games, Cloud, good games. Yeah, I think with another extra land they would have gone back up in life, and they had jump blockers for these guys. So it would be 17, 18. And they block here, block here, block here. Then, yeah, they would have the game if they have another land. So, really close.